Well, hello everybody. How are you? Good to be here. What is it today? It is Tuesday, 8th of July. Hope everyone's having a good day. Guys, please hang around till the end. I will give away in the chat at the end five free memberships to the Tea Club. So first come, first serve on those. So hang around to the end and you'll be in a chance to get 1 month free on me to the Tea Club. So hang around. What have I got for you today? Really pleased to announce that there was a new pop-up uh, in ONews in your back office. If you remember, I did actually say that I would reach out to Ash and ask him about why it's called ONews now. He did get back to me actually yesterday, which was fantastic as always to hear from him. And he said, a reference to ONews in that pop up area, he said, I believe that ONews is a catchy name and gives it more authority to pay attention to, especially as it is now being numbered. We can also, obviously, he said, keep calling it the pop up as well. So that is why it's called O News. It has more authority for what it's meaning to do. Whether that's going to continue through to the next phase, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, obviously, O News is that pop up area in your back office. So let's have a little look at the pop up. We'll just go through it very briefly. It is there. You just need to sign into your OES and to read it. And then we're going to talk about alignment in business, okay, which goes a little bit hand in hand with what the pop-up was saying in the OES area. So it's obvious, isn't it, from what he was saying that there's been an awful lot of things happening behind the scenes that we don't know about. And he starts off with saying, we are pruning for a stronger future. Transparency isn't just a principle, it is a promise. This is, I think, actually one of his very big core values, isn't it, of what he's trying to achieve is to be as transparent as he possibly can. Obviously, there is certain things that he can't disclose at the moment for all sorts of legal reasons, etc. But it's great that he is coming out to let us know a little bit more about what is happening and how they're, I suppose, cleaning the behind the scenes area before we move forward. And he said, as we move forward, it's important that more important than ever that we honour that promise with clarity and integrity. And he goes on to say about how every strong tree needs to be pruned to give it healthy growth, etc. And he said that in the spirit, we've recently chosen to part ways with a former public representative of the company, as new information has come to light regarding the conduct of it does not align with our values, and this decision reflects our unwavering commitment to integrity and long-term success. And then he goes on to saying that we are committed and to build something worthy of your trust and enthusiasm. He said the path ahead is clearer now and the roots are stronger and the future is beginning to blossom. Stay tuned to O News for updates that are coming soon. Obviously, something's happened, and obviously Ash felt the need to put it in the pop-up that to make people aware that there is certain people or person out there who really hasn't been doing the right thing ethically and also what is expected of them as far as the company is concerned. So as always, we do advise people, please, 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 guys, be very cautious of people who are uh, doing things that don't feel right to you. Okay. And if that's the case, then stay away from it because it's not worth getting involved in. Okay. Um, this brings me on to what I wanted to talk about, which was alignment in business. Now, alignment in business has all sorts of connotations. Obviously, for us in our business, uh, one of the really important factors that we have is to be aligned with the journey and direction of our CEO. This is almost, for me, I think, one of the most important parts of why so many of us are still here. So many of us are still excited about the future because we are aligned with the values, with the vision of our CEO. And if you're not aligned with those values, that vision, then maybe this business isn't actually for you, because nothing is going to change our CEO's decision of what he's going to do. Nothing is going to change our CEO's core values of how he's going to do it, for the reasons he's going to do it. And I really believe that part of why this community is such a special community is because of that alignment, core values and beliefs that we have within it. I was talking to Chris today, actually, and I wrote down something that I want to talk to you today about, and that is having a purpose. And I'm not going to talk about that today, but it really does strike a fantastic chord with me. And I'm sure when I talk about it tomorrow, many of you guys out there as well. And this sort of goes hand in hand with being aligned. And the reason we got onto uh, this topic of being aligned with our CEO and what he's trying to achieve is because we all know firsthand that other people within our family, our friendship groups, and all the rest of it, they're just not aligned with what we are thinking, what we believe in, and all the rest of it. And we go through quite a lot of hardship and heartache because people just don't understand what we are saying. But again, it goes back to that choice thing. It goes back to this is our choice. We are happy with our choice of what we are doing and following our CEO, Ashmi Farah, because we are aligned with his values, with his core beliefs of what he is trying to achieve. And we, the people who choose to be here, really want to be part of that. And I certainly know from my point of view, and Jane, who's sat in the background here, that this is the only company that I know that I stand a chance of being able to do the things that I want to do as far as helping people and causes and all the rest of it is going to allow me to do. Why? Because I know that within the business, there is going to be the potential for me to earn the sort of money that not only is going to sort me out and Jane out and the rest of my family, but then also allow me to do the things that I really want to do. No other company I know not only doesn't promote that kind of help outside of the business, but also I don't believe that the earning potential is there in any other business either. And that is something that I'm really looking forward to in the future with the next phase and everything that our CEO is going to bring to us. So let's get back to alignment in business and why it really is important for a successful business to have that alignment. It's also known as strategic or organization alignment. It is the process of ensuring all parts of a business work together effectively to achieve the overall company's goals. It involves coordinating various elements like operations, systems, and departments to align with the organization's mission, values, and long-term objectives. By achieving alignment, businesses can improve efficiency, productivity, and overall performance. Now, if you remember back, when Ash told us he was taking over the reins once again, and we needed to move in a different direction and all the rest of it, an awful lot of what he was saying that was to do with how people within the business were not aligned with his core principles, his core beliefs of what he was trying to achieve. And when you have people, employees, people he knows, etc., not being aligned with him and his principles, then it doesn't work. It is an integral part of business that all departments, all people of uh, influence, I think is the right word, are aligned with the person who is in charge of what he is trying to achieve. If you've got people going off in tangents, then it starts throwing up more questions about what is the direction of this business? What are we trying to achieve here? I thought we were going to try and do this, and you see parts of the business going off in a tangent into different areas that make to you no sense whatsoever. And that is because those people were certainly not aligned with the core principles of our CEO. And this is everywhere. It's not just departmental, it's not just people within position, it's not people who are influencing and all the rest of it. It is every part of it all has to, guess what, align. And if it doesn't, then it starts causing problems, friction. uh, People tend to think that they can do what they want to do without any recourse, but actually that's because they are not aligned with what their person, the owner of the company, actually really wants. And guess what? He noticed this, and things had to change. This is just another step of things having to change when new information comes to light. And I'm so glad that it's happening now. I'm glad that it's happening now before we are getting going again. Why? Because it is like Gina Lever's analogy of tilling the land, preparing the ground for the seeds to grow properly without hindrance, without weeds, without shade over the top of it, or whatever it may be. Obviously, our CEO gave the analogy of a tree has to be pruned to make it grow better, to give it stronger roots, etc. You know, all of these analogies that we use as far as alignment is concerned are very important in business. And if you can get all of those, I suppose, infractions out of the way and sorted before you get going, guess what it means? It means that when we do get going, there's no distraction. Everyone's on the same page, everyone's moving in the same direction, everyone has the same alignment of what we are trying to achieve here. And we certainly do, okay, know that when we are in that position, nothing is going to stop us. Everything is there for us to succeed. There is not going to be people trying to derail us. There's not going to be other interests within the business that aren't aligned with the model that our CEO is trying to develop for all of us. So let's get back to the alignment in business. So what are some of the key aspects of it? Well, the first one is strategic integration. This is business alignment, integration, all areas of the business, including management, systems, resource allocation to support the strategic objectives of what that business is trying to achieve. In other words, in simple terms, all departments, all managerial levels, all systems that are allocated to that business are there to support this strategic objective of the goals of that company. If you haven't got that in place, if you haven't got all those departments doing their thing, bringing it all together, if they are focused in a direction that does not align with the CEO of the company and what he is trying to achieve for the business, it doesn't work. It takes away from what is trying to be achieved rather than being of benefit to the business. It's actually taking that resourcefulness away from the company rather than being a positive towards it. And this is why it's so important that you keep monitoring, you keep talking, you keep checking. All of these things help towards that strategic integration of the departments. Common understanding, of course, is essential. It ensures that all employees understand the company's goals and how their work contributes to them. We saw this, didn't we? How some of the employees within the business weren't 100% sure of what they were actually trying to do. We saw this firsthand with some of the support issues that we had, that it seemed like they actually didn't quite know what was the right thing to say or do. You know, this is all part and parcel of that alignment so that they have as clear a picture as everyone else, every other department, of what the purpose of the business is and what they are trying to achieve with their objectives. And if they're not aligned within that in the departments, then again, it doesn't add to the smoothness and the direction that that business is going in. Eliminating redundancy by identifying and removing non-essential elements. Alignment can streamline business processes and improve efficiency. Again, that's a really technical and nice way of saying get rid of the people who aren't aligned with the business goals, with the business ethics, with the business purpose of what they are trying to achieve. There's no point, regardless of who they are, what they know, how friendly you are with them, and all the rest of it. If they're no good for you and your business, they're not aligned with what you're trying to achieve, then they are a hindrance, not an asset. And anything in business is hard lessons to learn. Our CEO has had to learn the hardest of lessons many, many times through his journey with all of us by getting rid of that dead wood, as he said. Why? It doesn't align with his principles. It doesn't align with what he is accepting. It doesn't align with the things, the ethics, the goals, the direction. All of these, if you haven't got the people in the right areas doing the right things that align with what he wants, then there's only one thing you have to do for the benefit of the business, for the benefit of the masses, i.e., us. Hard decisions have to be made, but it is beneficial to the business. It makes things so much easier for everybody in the long run because we know where we're going. We know the direction. We know what the goal of the company is. We know what our CEO is trying to achieve. When things come into play that do not align with our CEO, then he has to make the hard decisions, which I'm afraid we see from the pop-up he's had to do yet again. It's necessary for the success of our business. It's necessary for the direction of our business that everybody in every position within the business is aligned with our CEO, his beliefs, his direction, and his goals. And if people aren't in the boundaries of what is acceptable, then choices have to be made. It also improves collaboration, believe it or not. Well-aligned businesses foster better communication and collaborations between different departments. How many times have you heard our CEO saying companies will approach us to ask us how we managed to do it, how we managed to achieve what we have? And this is, again, people looking at us to how to do business properly, how to do it ethically, how to do it with the right goals, how to do it with the right alignment, achievements. And this is something that we are going to be extremely good at, right? Many companies focus on one thing. They focus on what the return of what they're doing is going to be either for the business or for their shareholders. That is actually the last thing on our CEO's mind. That is the last thing that he is bothered about for our business. He's 100% focused on what this business is going to achieve, where it's going to go, what it's going to do for people, what it's going to do for the average person, to give us a clean platform that we can all work from. And if you have people within that who aren't aligned with what he wants, then they end up becoming a hindrance. Companies will look at us and going, how did he manage to achieve that? How did he get all those people all going in the same direction with the same mentality, with the same goals, with the same ethos as he has? And that is because he's putting the value, he's putting uh, he's laid the seed of what is possible, what we can all do individually. The one drop of grain of sand making a beach, the one drop of water making a ocean. All of these things filter down from our CEO, and we either uh, go with it or we push against it. And if you push against it, then maybe this business is not for you. When I was researching about alignment in business, it really did throw up quite a lot of things that I thought, got me thinking. I didn't really understand it. But then the more I was reading about it, the more it made sense. It also helps to enhance performance. Ultimately, businesses' alignment leads to increased productivity, improved decision making, and better overall business outcome. Why? Because those people that are in those departments that are making those decisions, they are already on the right path of what our CEO or the business owner is trying to achieve. They get what he is trying to do. They understand what he is trying to do. And then that makes that decision making a lot easier. Why? Because they think to themselves, is this good for the business? Is this aligned with the principles of our CEO and what he's trying to achieve? And if the answer to that is yes, it is, then it's an easy decision to make. And if they say, well, is it going to benefit the business and align with our principles of what our CEO is going to achieve? Then the answer is no, it's an easy decision because it shouldn't be for the business. That decision is easily dropped because it's not the right decision for the business. And if you have all the departments all aligned, all the people who are managerial, all the people who are something to do with the business, whether employees, whether outside or whatever it is, okay, if we are all aligned with the principles of what our CEO is trying to achieve, then that's going to lead to increased productivity, improved decision making, and better overall business outcome for all of us. There's loads of examples as well. You can have business IT alignment, getting that IT strategy system that supports the overall objectives in line with what you're trying to do. You can process the alignment as well with workflows and different departments to improve efficiency and reduce errors. You can also have organization alignment, making sure that individuals and team goals are aligned with the organization's overall strategic goals. This goes hand in hand with what we've been saying. So to summarize then, what are the benefits of business alignment? It helps to increase efficiency by streamlining the process and optimize resource allocation, leading to a fast execution and reducing costs. It improves decision making by having a clear understanding of the goals and access to relevant data, enabling better informed decisions because it aligns with what the business is trying to achieve. Enhances collaboration, of course, fosters that better communication with others that are aligned with your business. Greater agility. Well aligned organizations can adapt more quickly to changing markets, conditions, and customer needs. Why? Because they have a clear, aligned focus of what they are trying to achieve. And if you have to go round a corner to get to the right objective, then when everyone's aligned for the goal on the horizon, it's easy to steer people around an obstacle. If they're not, then you're going to get people saying, well, what are we doing that for? Why are we going here? Why are we doing that? If people say, it makes sense to me because this is in the way, we've got to change, we've got to adapt a little bit and all the rest of it to get to the ultimate goal of what we are trying to achieve, then it makes a lot more sense. And the last one then is it increases profitability by optimizing performance and efficiency. Business alignments can contribute to the increased profitability and long-term success of that business. So when you start thinking about the logical side of people within an organization being aligned with the core values, the direction, the goal of the CEO or the owner of a business, this really does help all of us in the long run. But mark my words, our CEO said he is in control. He is making sure that we are going to succeed. And if you are a person who is not aligned with our CEO and is doing things that doesn't go with the core principles of what we are trying to achieve, then I'm afraid to say maybe this is not the business for you. We cannot afford, as a community, as a business, as people, we cannot afford to have individuals who aren't aligned with what all of us are. And that really is something that is the nasty side of business. That is the stuff of business that is not easy to do. But one thing's for sure, it's necessary, because if you do not do it as early as possible when the information is there, then you stand a big chance of that changing that direction of the business, of changing the feel of the business, the alignment of many others because of that person or persons who are not aligned with the core values of our CEO. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand how important having the right alignment with all departments of a business, including us, is important to the success of our business. As I said, tough decisions have to be made, but it is of the benefit of the majority and for the direction that we are going in. I'll be back around tomorrow, guys. Same place, same time. See you all there. Thanks again, John, for being in the chat. I hope you've done an amazing job, and I will see you all tomorrow. That's it from me. Bye for now.